Hello everybody and welcome back to the next video. This time we are going to talk about how should you rotate in Deadlock before the 10-minute mark hits the counter. Alright, of course there are different lanes and different hero matchups. I know that and everybody knows that. But usually there are like two things. The first thing is you solo lane, the second thing is you duo lane. And I'm gonna make it straight up. If you solo lane, you're usually playing very steady as I am right now in this lane. I'm just like fighting a little bit the lady guys, and I know at some point somebody will rotate and help me, or at some point somebody will help the lady guys. So I need to adapt. So my plan here is not to pressure the lady guys because I can't. She's stronger than me and I need help to kill her. So I'm just like chilling, farming around, and that's all I'm currently doing. And I'm just waiting for somebody to rotate, or I'm waiting before the jungle spawns. Because at minute 7 I can flash farm, I can farm the lane, then I can hit the jungle, then I can farm the lane, then I can hit the jungle. And this is like what you want to do if nobody wants to help you. As you can see right there, I'm just like chilling, farming, and at some point my Bebop runs to my lane because he realized, yo, we just killed this guy and we are killing him. And this is basically what you're doing on a solo lane. You are trying to farm, of course you're trying to punish your enemy, but if you can't, just try to flash farm and farm it up. I do never want you to actually rotate on a solo lane. You can, yes, but there's one important rule. You need to always push your wave and then you can go for a rotation. And if the rotation is done in 30 to 40 seconds, perfect. But if it takes longer than that, it's a bad rotation. Because you're gonna lose farm under your lane and you're gonna lose basically your lane creeps, which is very bad. Because as everybody knows, Valve patched the fact that you can get split farm through the lanes. So that means if you're rotating after you pushed your own wave, you're not getting any souls kind of from the lane you are rotating to. So you want to make sure either you take the souls from your own lane or you take the souls from the lane you are ganking. But the problem is if you go to the lane that you're ganking, you're going to have the problem that you're splitting your souls and you're not getting a lot of farm basically. Because if you're just looking at the top, I'm 7k and the lady guys is 5k just because somebody rotated once. We took the tower, and now I'm free to do whatever I want. I can hit the jungle, I can rotate, I can look around, I can do literally whatever I want. But it's important to note, as I said before, as you can see here, I'm pushing the wave, and then I'm thinking about doing something. Even if the lady guys is like hitting me a little bit, it doesn't matter. I can heal her through again, I'm moving Krill, so I don't care. But as you can see, I'm pushing the wave, and then I'm gonna decide what I want to do. Because the enemy tower is dead, so there's like nothing to do on this lane basically. If there's a tower, sure. But as you can see here, I'm just rotating. It's minute 9, I'm thinking about a rotation. I hear somebody on my microphone and I'm like, yo, why is this guy farming our jungle? Because I wanted to farm the jungle, so I just walked there automatically, but this guy is actually doing it, so I'm just killing him. And it's my first rotation on minute 9 as a Krill and as a solo laner. So just chill on your lane, farm it up, get your farm, and at some point, around like minute 10, whenever the rune spawns, the action rune spawns, like whenever everything is spawning, then you can start rotating. Or if your tower is dead and you pushed out your wave, then you can rotate too. Or if the tower is alive, you push your wave and then you can rotate. But always please push the wave. It is so important. You are missing so much farm if you don't do the shit. You need to push your wave and then you can do whatever you want. Otherwise, you will lose farm and you will not be as big as I am in this game. Because if we are just like looking forward, in the next like 30 to 40 seconds, I'm like 11k, almost 12. And if you're looking at the lady guys, she's 6k. Yes, she got ganked a little bit, but like she's not focusing on her farm. She's like focusing on forcing something. And I'm like just jungling, farming wave, killing somebody, jungling, farming wave, killing somebody. That's all I'm doing right now. And this should be your mindset on a solo lane. Alright, now we are going to the perspective of the Bebop. Because he had a different perspective than me. And I can literally tell you already what happened. Either he pushed his wave, and he ran over to my lane, or they won their lane, they took the tower, and then he started rotating. One of these scenarios is going to happen, because otherwise it doesn't feel good to rotate. Because I haven't experienced that already, and I can tell you it does not feel good at all. So they're killing the enemy team, or like the enemy lane, whatever you want to call it. Then they're focusing on the tower at some point, and then he's going to decide if he wants to rotate, yes or no. But he's even dying before. That means they're not even getting the tower right now. So there's going to be a different situation where somebody ganks. But it's important to note, if you want to gank, you need to be on a dual lane. Or you need to push your wave. Then it feels okay. But like dual lanes are like very free to rotate if they want to. Like they don't need to be that steady. Because an Abrams can run over, a Bebop can run over. You can rotate as much as you want, as long as you're getting your experience on the lane. And then you start walking somewhere else. Then it's totally fine, but please do it on the dual lanes. As you can see here, the Abrams pushed his wave. He's running over, they're killing them again. and now they're going for the tower. Perfect. So that's basically it. They took the tower before minute 7. So before the jungle basically spawns, which is great because now you have access to farm the enemy jungle even with some heroes like Mu and Krill, for example me. Now he's running over because they pushed the tower, they pushed the wave, and now he's like, yo, let's go for the Lady Geist. He didn't say something sadly, but he's just like running in, and I noticed that. So I'm going in as a Krill, we're killing him, then we're taking the tower together, which is perfectly fine, and then we can decide what we want to do. Farm the map, farm the lane, farm the jungle, and because we have 2 towers now, we can even farm the enemy jungle, which is perfect. Because you want to take the farm from your enemies. And if you think about it, you're farming their jungle, and then you're going to your jungle. Like that's basically the reason why I'm like 12k at minute like 10 on Krill and the Lady Geist is 6k. That's like the only reason, because we have access to the enemy map, and we have access to farm all their like camps and all that stuff. That's basically it. And this is important, because if you think about it, what the Bebop does, he took his tower, even before minute 10, he took his tower, and he starts rotating, which is good. Even though you're losing some souls, if you get the lane pressure and if you get the towers, it's perfectly fine doing that. But the problem is, if you don't get these towers, and you're just starting to rotate, you feel very, very bad, because if you look at the farm of the Bebop and at the Abrams, because both of them rotated, it's pretty low. But it's kind of obvious because they are rotating. So the Lash, me, and the Pocket are pretty high farm because they are not rotating, they're playing steady on the lane, and the other 2 guys are rotating basically, which you can see in the soul split. This is kind of obvious, but like sometimes it can work, but if you do this, you need to make sure that you get these towers and you get the like basically the map punished. And if you don't get it, then shit happens, then you need to recover at some point, because it might be very hard to recover at some point, because your boys will farm a lot, the enemies will farm a lot, and they will also start like punishing you, which can be a big problem. So always think about the rotations whenever you want to do them, but remember, kill the wave, then rotate, kill the tower, then rotate, or farm the enemy like side of the jungle and stay close to a lane where you can gank easily. These type of rules are like very important, and if you like stay strictly to them, you will have a lot of success in your games. Because if you're looking at me currently, I'm just farming the enemy side on Krill, because I can. They don't have these 2 towers. Now I'm rotating over, as you can see. Maybe I'm gonna get some kills, everything is perfect. And that's just because I'm farming the enemy side of the map. So I can rotate faster to my team, I can help them more, and we're just getting 2 kills for free, which is perfect and what we want. So before the minute 10, you can decide if you want to rotate, solo lane. I'd rather no, just stay steady on your lane and try to like win it or get your farm. On the dual lane, you can decide whenever you want to rotate, but it's important to note, either kill the tower first or push the wave together, so you have time to like gank and don't lose so much souls in comparison to like everybody else. And overall, rotating can be very good on this game, but like usually it's much better to just stay steady and win your lane. And if you do this, perfect. And if you lose your lane, you can literally just like rotate around and fuck other lanes, if you can. And if you can't, then shit happens, you need to start recovering and stay on a lane or farm the jungle as much as you can, so you get your key items and you will be strong at some point. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope these kind of tips will help you or give you like an idea how to rotate on the map currently. That's my experience at least. I'm not saying this is like the perfect way to do this, but if you want to like start getting better, and I don't know if these like kind of stats are like correct, but these random websites are saying like I'm like top 0.02 or 3%, which is like, I don't care. Like I'm just playing for fun, I'm enjoying it, I want to get better at the game, and I want to teach you guys some Deadlock basically. I always want to say Dota because I was a content creator for Dota before, but like, it's just I have it. So yeah, thanks for watching everybody, and make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and bye bye, peace.